Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be delving into a little Rainbow Six Siege action. This will just be a shorter clips and tips video where I provide some commentary about how I play Siege while showing off just a little bit. Nothing too fancy, no aces this time, sadly. Just wanted to give a quick reminder, though, that you should like and subscribe. This is a newer channel, so every viewer counts. Already I've gotten a total of 300 views, and we just passed 30 subscribers. I love you, fam. So without further ado, let's get to the action. Welcome everybody, VC Mortem here, just making a quick clip video for you of Rainbow Six Siege. Right here I'm just kind of playing the time clock a bit, making sure I hold this angle since I'm on defense, and I'm hoping my teammate's back watching point, which I do believe he is, because we get a nice little bit of pressure from them. I pressure back and then retreat. Nobody dies, but game one. Next clip takes place on the same map. Just in case you're wondering, I am a bit of a fan of the MK14. I loved it in Modern Warfare 3, which was a big game I played. We finished out this one strong with a 5-1. It's one of my favorite guns. I like it in most games. I prefer single shot rifles as opposed to full auto ones, just because I feel like it requires a little more finesse to be able to use them properly. Here I just put up a few reinforcements real quick, end up popping a few holes in the wall. Nothing special going on. I'm getting a few points from some things, just trying to get myself an angle to watch. And that's it, game over. If you didn't catch what happened there, I killed him with a Rooney gate, which I kind of feel bad for this guy because he's shooting at it. I don't think he understands how those ones work, so he ends up just running through it, dies to it, gets me the kill. The next one here, this one I end up in a 1v3 situation. I pop pretty quickly along this guy, move back to point, find Sledge, take him out, notice I'm low, reload real quick, see somebody through the wall, and bam, done. That's our round 2 win. Gives a quick replay here. I don't really see him too well through this wall, especially with the bullets flying at me. I just kind of give it a few shots and it works out. Sometimes that's how Siege is. This one we're doing pretty well too. We're 5-0, so right now we're running pretty strong as well. Team's trying to decide which point to take on defense. I decide to try and make sure I get the point that I am planning for, as opposed to planning for one that I wanted, just to make sure I have the right character selected. I otherwise probably would have picked Frost, but somebody else already did that here. I don't mind a Rooney though. Like I said, MK14 is the way to go.
Secure the bombs.
Round starts. I like to do this thing on this map where I try to defend the objectives from the bed. So I try to take away as many routes as I can by reinforcing this. My teammate thankfully helps me. I even put one of these up there just to make sure they don't try to come through that way if I can help it. I really want to try and coax them to using the windows or to come in from this construction side if I can. So I try to take out any of the ways. I don't want them to go this one. I don't want them to use way in, just because it can mess up my being able to shoot them from on top of the bed, which you'll see here in a little bit. But mostly I'm just looking to slow them down. It is defense, we are ahead, but right here I just go for a drone because I want them to not have much intel. I know there's a frost mat on the other side of this, so I try to take it out before it can see it for sure. Get on top of the bed and I start at the beginning of the round watching where things are going to go. Make myself a nice peek hole here so I can see to that window in case anybody comes in. And from here, I've got good control of most of the map. Thankfully, somebody put a mirror right there so I even could see into that little office area. Right now, I'm just kind of searching for an opponent to do something. I'm listening for where things are going on and wondering where that drone is that I'm hearing. When I see that there's a drone that ran that way, I figure perhaps somebody's going to be coming in this door here shortly. Nobody does. I figure it's a good safe bet to go look for the drone. I do a little 360 there a moment ago just to try and see if I can find it hiding near the shield. Turns out it's not there, it's behind this wood. Take it out one shot, move on, get back on my bed. And again, I've got a pretty good idea now of where they're at, thanks to somebody spotting them. I'm listening to those audio cues from their feet at this point with my headset. I hear some shots coming from that direction, so I'm checking there. Checking that window quick. My warden gets up close there, so I figure he's going to cover that. Frost seems to be covering the window to my left. I hear an explosion off to my right, and I'm not sure if that's in there, so I ping it, so somebody will check. But it's also possible the explosion was further to my right. And it looks like it was, because I see they've broken down this. After a moment, they throw something into the Aruni. Right there. And now I'm just waiting for him to walk in between that narrow line of sight. I see him, so I pop a few shots into him. Don't get the down. But start looking for him. Fire some shots for pressure. Don't get any shots like I want. Got a few into him there. Decide I'm going to play time because it's 30 seconds left. Trying to watch out for things. They're throwing in flashes. I'm just making sure I don't get flashed by looking away. Get a few shots and the injure right there. I think somebody's in the frost mat. I try to, in the smoke, it's a little disorienting. I try to aim and look at wherever the frost mat would be, but I turn out actually looking at the objective. Find that person there, reload. As my teammate goes down, I shoot straight through his body after he's dead and kill the other guy. This one, we're playing on Chalet. Found a buck who was roaming. Trying to see where people are, because now I'm in a 2v1. Open that up. I really like opening up that spot. I think it's a great viewpoint over those steps from basement if somebody tries to come in that way. We've got a minute 21, so I'm trying to elongate and stay in place and just wait it out. We're down to a 1v1. I'm not sure where the enemy is. Waiting for intel from my team. I believe at this point I'm actually in team chat asking somebody to give me some intel if they see anything. And we get a ping just now if you hear it. They keep pinging, they keep pinging, they give me an idea that they're above me. So I'm waiting for them to potentially drop down and run in through that door. They're still pinging away at them, which is helpful. They've apparently rotated over to this side. I come over here, they hop out the window. I don't manage to get the shot on them enough to down them, so I try to throw the grenade, figuring maybe that'll catch them if they try to turn back, and they don't. I run over top of that drone there. I know they may have seen me, but I figure since they're apparently pushing right there because my teammates are being helpful, I just go ahead and apply pressure. I know now that they're staying mostly on the side of this window. I'd apply a little more pressure. We're down to 15 seconds. And this part I kind of like because I just walk up right here, I lay down, and I do absolutely nothing. I expect they're going to go through the door that's in front of me, and I earlier in the round had planted a cap can there, and sure enough, they do, and that's the kill. Give them a little tea bag for that disgrace. Next one we run in, pop some cameras on this map. Gotta get both the cameras for this map, otherwise it's pretty easy to get spotted and your teammates will very often forget, I notice. I decide to take the safe route over to the left and try and avoid the openings to the right. This guy decides to recharge, so I switch back to this. I'm waiting for him to blow it, and he kind of takes his time. Finally blows it, and I give a little bit of a peek, not really seeing anything. There is some stuff in the way on the inside of that window. I decide to get out of the ability to be seen by that window there. And I see somebody's knocked it in, so I figure there's somebody there. It happens to be a pulse. Whip out my pistol and finish him off. I'm the one with the diffuser on this one, so I'm trying to play it a little bit more safe. I don't believe this clip actually finishes with much happening here, because this one might be just mostly for the kill of the pulse, but throw a flash grenade, which I thought was going to go inside. I really hate the grenade mechanic, I'll be honest. I feel like it needs to be a little more exact with how much wide range it gives you. It's very easy to misthrow. Happens to me very often. I do play on Xbox. I don't know if any of you out there play on PC, but PC is seemingly quite a bit more accurate, and aim is a lot better on just about everything. Here, since my teammate got me up, I aim over their shoulder, pop the camera, careful not to hit him. Take a different entry method so I can try and cover next to him.
I injured the orcs, but then he got res, I think.
Teammate's giving me some intel there about orcs. I decide since this character is going left, I'm going to go right, pop the door. I meant to flip over to just the 2, but I was already on the 2, didn't realize it when I pulled it out. So, pop that there, pop another one over there just because I want to make some noise if I can help it. Cover up teammate footsteps, things like that. Pop the camera to help my team. Waiting, trying to see if I can find out where they're at.
It wasn't letting me through the doorway. It was right.
Hit that guy through the wall with X-ray vision. I don't actually have X-ray vision, I'm just saying that. Trust me, I wish I did, but I'm sure that guy probably thinks I had X-ray vision. I just shot at the ground because I figured perhaps somebody's in there, and they were.
I like how we like 3v1 this whole entire game.
Teammate is mentioning that we actually went that entire game, and we were 3v5, and we actually ended up winning 4-2, so it's always worth it to stay if you can help it. Even if you're at a disadvantage, you can still manage to get that chance at an alpha pack. Here I'm playing Frost, just trying to set up my Frost mats in good places. A lot of people won't check that drop hole before they go through it. I notice I could do the objective here with the other Frost mat. I typically tend not to do the window to my left, but the further one I will. In this playthrough I did do that window, but a lot of times I'll instead do the frost mat on the window behind, just because it works a little bit better. People don't tend to go into the objective window, they tend to go to the construction window here on the right that Blitz is looking out. But I think for this one I was just running out of time, so I quickly put out things as fast as I could. I believe this is the one where I get quite a few kills off of being on the bed. Right here, I'm just kind of making noise, trying to attract the enemy to these windows if possible. Also giving myself a few holes into the room in case I need them. I heard that Ying go off, so I'm waiting for her to potentially push somewhere. I'm giving a ping out to my teammate because I expect somebody's running there, and Blitz didn't really catch on, unfortunately, so he went down. I am speaking to my team as this is going on, but it's unfortunately not recorded. Me speaking very much. You can't see my name pop up here and there on the screen. That's me trying to give my team some call-outs, but the team that I had, I don't believe was doing too much listening to my call-outs, but right there I popped somebody through that little hole from the earlier clip. I decided I'm going to try and use it again because I imagine maybe there's somebody else there. Don't hear anybody coming, don't really notice anything. Teammate gives a ping on where they are somewhere else, so I try to take a look for it, don't find anything. Hear that smoke grenade. I expect somebody might come through this way. They Ying, but unfortunately the Ying does not end up getting me at all, so I pop them right in the head. Hear the next one running in from somewhere, figure they're going to come that way. They don't, they actually come this window. I do pop them what feels like a headshot right there, you even see the red X, but According to the game, what happened, I believe, was the frost trap actually ends up going off in the kill cam at the final moment, so I don't know. It showed it was the gun, but apparently it wasn't. I don't know. This one, I'm in a 1v4 situation. I just apply a little pressure from that doorway, come back, try to apply some more pressure, but nobody's there. I didn't hear the footsteps from Blackbeard, so I made a mistake, but thankfully I was able to cover it and get rid of him. Saw the recruit sitting on the stairs come this way. Noticed they're trying to plant, being them. I hear this. My teammate gives that call out, but it's not actually garage door, as I can see now, because there's explosions coming from above. So I'm waiting here, figuring they're going to come somewhere there. They actually blow this and try to come in next to me. Thankfully I didn't walk too far to the right, but I take them out and win the round. This one, I'm running around as 0. My main goal on this one is just I want to try and put cameras wherever I can manage, hopefully giving my team some sort of intel. Try to find a few spots. It's a 3v5 at the moment. My team hadn't really been doing too well up to this point, but we still had plenty of time to play with. They were doing a lot of runouts. We know they're, for the most part, hanging around out on that platform, but there's 2 other ones to worry about. I pop this in there in case my teammates are actually going to be giving me any sort of pings or anything off of it. I hear a few pings, but not really getting any helpful intel yet, since I gotta go this way. Jackal gives a good push inwards, takes somebody out in the process. I hammer some bullets over that because I do believe you can actually still penetrate that couch that's up there and potentially get kills that way. I give it an attempt, also figuring it might just distract them long enough. They may think I'm in the hallway. Come through here after I saw those bullets. I just pre-fired. Walk into this, pre-fire a little bit more since I know they're that direction. Try to get rid of the barbed wire, make things a little quicker, come around, find a head right there at Mira, and that person was on the ground crawling. Thankfully my teammate was able to save me. At the end of that round we were 3-0. Right here we're a 2v3. I come around after they've planted, find Sledge, who's watching that doorway, find this person. Unfortunately catch my teammate just a little bit with a bullet. I'm actually apologizing in chat at the moment. I find the diffuser though, shoot the claymore, don't walk into it by mistake, and end up winning the round here as well. Sometimes you just gotta play objective. There was one of them alive, but I had that cavi there, so I figured she'd protect me while I diffused, and it worked out.
Drone has located the biohazard container.
This one, I'm communicating with my teammate a little bit, like, hey, need you to move a bit, I want to put this frost mat down. They apologize, you know, they're being cool about it. They asked if I saw it, and I wasn't sure actually what they were talking about there, about what I might have been seeing. Right here, they try to blow me up with the Flores gadget. I avoided, of course. Go back to the motorcycle here, and I like this little peek that it gives you. Don't believe bullets will actually penetrate the motorcycle, though they of course can get through the rungs of the wheel. My teammate, I notice, is right next to me, so I figure I'll go take a look outside, come over here, find this thermite, give him a good couple shots when he's not looking at me. I imagine he was probably just about to blow the doors behind us here. My teammate was asking where he was at, so I pinged where it was. Get another 50 for an injure assist. I wasn't actually sure where it had happened. I come, run out over here trying to find the last guy, find him right there. Sorry, not last guy, second to last guy. But found Ying, gave her a headshot, ended that. Teammate popped out there, gave the last kill. In this round, it's a 5v2. We're doing pretty well. We've got the upper hand. I'm just kind of pressuring with my teammate. Figure he's got that angle covered when he comes back. Rotate over, remove the barricade. I know there's probably going to be somebody over here, so I clear this in case they'd already come inside. Find it empty, come over here, notice the ash after they killed him. Give them a good beam. Here, this part, I just wanted to include to give you guys an idea on some good spots for this objective on where to put Valkyrie cams. I like to put one here because people don't tend to look there and you can't see it from that front door there. Then I'll come over and I'll pop one on here because since it's got that black background, it's not as noticeable. And then this place right here is somewhere that's very blind to cameras. So putting a cam here can give really valuable intel since it covers that rotate. Later on in the round I'll actually be on, I'll have died playing Valk unfortunately, but I was doing some pinging using that very last camera I set up there, and the intel actually won us the round, but I don't believe that's included. But as you can see here, I'm already giving the team intel. This one, my drone gets taken out in the deployment phase. I come out shooting at the cameras to make sure they don't have intel. Playing as IQ here. Sometimes I'll just kind of randomly shoot through that front door just in case somebody happens to be going into server room. They have the second floor objective on this one, so something I like to mention is right up there, a lot of times they will hide, so I'll blast bullets all through there. Sometimes it'll get them to move, especially since the fuse had just done his fuse. I figured it was a good time. Right here I put down this in case anybody comes down the stairs, but actually get caught by the cabbie. Cabbie, though, not smart enough to notice I put down the Claymore, ends up dying to it. This little portion I put in here in slow-mo just because I thought it was amazing. It was actually my teammate had done that. They threw a smoke grenade as Jaeger was coming over and just got a very, very lucky but also amazing smoke grenade kill, so I thought that was pretty cool. Right here, my teammate goes down and I notice it. I see the fuse, or sorry, the cap can for just a moment, come around the corner, get rid of him. My teammate here in a moment will end up putting down the diffuser. I put my Claymore right here in case anybody tries to rotate back through. I'm looking for the last enemy, trying to find anywhere they might be. I'm not finding anything. Enter into the point. I do find there's a cap can on the wall. I figure I might as well get rid of that. Don't want it to kill a teammate as time might be a factor. I'm looking and I hear some footsteps in that corner, so I kind of keep my aim at it. See that person come out and give them a good shot. That one we had a comeback victory just because of that round. This part I included just because I wanted to show you some good places for Melusi. With that little bit of overhang, I do believe it actually affects that front door right there, so you can see they're shooting through at me just after I get it set up there. Put another one back here just to kind of watch our back a bit for us in case they try to come through. Think about where I'm going to put one, see if there's the blitz there, don't put the reinforcement up. Pop a hole in over there, accidentally hit my teammate here. He's cool about it though, he actually says it's alright, I believe, in game chat. I pop a few shots off through that little peak right there that I'm making occasional pop shots out of. I can't really see the enemies, but I know they'll be there, and eventually I do get that kill. So that's another good spot you can watch that front door out of. So yeah, that was my set of clips for today, guys. I did mention to some of the people that I was playing with that I would go ahead and put this up at some point, so wanted to go ahead and get it out there for you. If anybody's wondering if they could play Siege with me or anything, I did create an account specifically for this channel, just so you guys would be able to add me as a friend. I could share clips together, things like that. Yeah, I enjoy Siege. Siege is pretty fun. I've been playing for a while. The account is new. I'm not smurfing. I'm not planning on taking it into ranked and, you know, just going crazy on everybody or trying to get plat and trying a new account. I'm not a person to do that. I figure if I probably tried to play solo, I'd probably place somewhere high to mid gold is my guess. I don't think I'm amazing, but I'm good. I know I'm decent. I think you can see that from some of these clips. But mostly I just want to play the game. I typically try to stick to like quick play or unranked. It's just a preference. I don't like the competitive portion of it. Also, Siege players can be very toxic. My personal account, I had issues where I tried to play ranked and I had a team abandon me in one of the matches. I had another ranked that I tried to do, and they saw that I wasn't ranked yet, and everyone else in the group was, so they continued to team kill me, and it just destroyed, my potential averages. And my teams lost, of course, without me because they had one less player. So I did not place well. I think I placed like low silvers when that happened. So I stopped at that point playing it almost entirely. I didn't even bother to try and finish when the next season came out and some friends tried to get me to do ranked. I wouldn't even let myself try and re-rank. I just ignored it. I played, I think, 9 games with them and then stepped out. So, but yeah, I've been playing since Project Health. Rainbow Six Siege is a pretty fun game, very toxic community. You have to kind of brace yourself for that. I would say especially if you're a female gamer. The guys out there are, of course, very, I'm going to try and hit on you, that sort of thing. I try to do what I can to support female gamers in those instances. I am open to any feedback from anybody on what you think helps in those situations. I believe female gamers definitely need to have a place in any gaming culture, that they need to be respected, that they need to have, the ability to have fun in those networks the same way us guys do. Same goes for, of course, anybody of any other genders that I haven't mentioned. We need to have those sort of inclusive environments in video games. I think that's very important. So wanted to mention that real quick. If you'd like to play with me, feel free to find me on Xbox. I don't mind a follow, a friend request. I try to say yes as much as I can. Hopefully we'll be able to play in the future. But if you like this video, of course, please like and subscribe. I appreciate all my subscribers dearly. And if you guys really like this content, I'll try to create some more for you. But I'm going to get going. So as always, you guys, good night. And of course, good luck.